Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing very well today. So I am so excited because I am finally going to be filming my ranking video of all of the makeup that I purchased in April. As you guys probably may know, if not, I'll just debrief you really quickly here. I was on a no buy basically from January until April. I did cheat a little bit, but overall I think I did pretty well for the most part, but I did splurge and purchase quite a bit of makeup during the month of April. And so I did film a collective haul as well as a Sephora haul. So I will link both of those videos down below in case you missed them and you want to check out my entire haul. In that haul video, I did include swatches. I'm not going to include any swatches in this video just because I already did them for that video, or for those two videos rather. But in this video today, it's more review focused. It's more about my thoughts on the products and kind of categorizing them in a certain category. So I have three different categories. The first category is I am in a committed relationship with that product. I love that product. I'm so glad that I purchased it. And then number two, ranking in at number two, is just it has a home, meaning it has a home within my collection. I'm probably not super in love with the product, but I really like it and I'm okay with keeping it around. Number three is where's my receipt? So this is a product that really just I'm not loving. I'm not really excited about. I don't think it's very good. Things like that. So let's just go ahead and get started because I have a lot of products to talk about today. So I was most likely wearing mustard in my last video and I'm wearing mustard again, but honestly, mustard is one of my favorite colors ever, so I'm not sorry. So let's just start with number three. I really want to just start or end my video on a positive note and really talk about the products that I love. So I'm going to start with the category three. So the category three is where's my receipt? And believe it or not, I only have three products that fall in this category, which is a good thing. That means that I purchased pretty good products for the most part. So the first product that was an ultimate dud for me is this from Tom Ford. This is the Tom Ford Eye Color Quad and it's in the shade Supernova. So this was a product that I actually purchased at a cosmetic company outlet store. So we do have one in San Marcos, which is a good 45 minutes away from me, and I decided to go to the cosmetic company store and purchase some additional Tom Ford products because I really do enjoy my Tom Ford eyeshadow quad and nude dip. So I decided to pick this one up. I thought the cool toned color story was really pretty, but the quality of this palette is so lackluster in comparison to the nude dip quad that I have. And so I was very, very underwhelmed by this quad, and I'm actually going to re-gift it and give it to my aunt, who I think would really appreciate this because you know, she likes Lancome and she loves like Michael Kors purses, so I really think she'll appreciate a more luxury brand in her eyeshadows. So I'm going to go ahead and just give this one to her. The other product is this from YesStyle, and this isn't a bad product by any means. It's just one that I'm not really excited about. I'm almost kind of regretting it. I just don't think that it's something that I needed. I don't need anything, let's be real, but I guess I'm just not in love with it as much as I thought I was going to be. And this is from the brand Peripera. Again, I got this on YesStyle, and this is just one of their ink shading little contour trios, and I have the shade Almond Brown. And this is what it looks like. You guys can tell that it's pretty it has three different shades within it. And this isn't a bad performing product, like I said. I just know that I'm not super into it. I don't really gravitate towards it very much. And even though it's fairly new in my collection, I don't reach for it. So that is really frustrating. I definitely didn't need it. But yeah, this is kind of sitting at number three, or ranking within that three category, just because of the fact that I don't reach for it and it doesn't really excite me. And the final product that falls under that number three category is actually the e.l.f. Putty Blush. I do have the shade Tahiti. I just want to make sure. Yes, I do have the shade Tahiti, and the shade is really pretty actually. It's a really nice like rosy pink color, and I love the theory behind these blushes. I love that they just continue to go on with their putty like brands that they have created for themselves. Obviously everybody knows about the putty primer, and then they have these putty blushes, and now they even have the putty bronzer. They've had putty eye primers, and so I love that they've tried to continue with the putty line, but because this is more of a putty, it's kind of more of like a whipped texture. This is not a very good cream blush in my opinion. I think that there are so many better options even at the drugstore. For instance, I'm really loving the Milani cream blushes, and I'm actually wearing one today, and I much prefer them over these e.l.f. ones. I know the Milani ones are a little bit more expensive than the e.l.f. ones, but it's still drugstore, so you can still get them on sale. And I love the shade, like I said, and I think the shades that they came out with are so pretty, but I don't love the formula. I feel like it's very dry. I feel like they take forever to build up, and they honestly don't even last that well on the skin either. So unfortunately, I am not a huge fan of the e.l.f. Putty blushes. I did purchase the e.l.f. Putty bronzer, so I will keep you updated on that. But anyways, I am just not impressed with this. So this is my last product that falls under that 3 category. So now the rest of the stuff that's in this basket are all of my 2s. So again, category number 2 is it has a home within my collection. So I like it. It's not a must-have for me, but I do like it, and I'm gonna keep it within my collection because for the most part, it makes me happy and brings me joy. So I'm still keeping it around. So let's just start with what's on top here. So firstly is my Natasha Denona Mini Love Palette. So you guys, I actually did post a ranking my Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette, so definitely check out that video. I had a really great time filming that video, so check it out if you're interested. But this is the Mini Love Palette from Natasha Denona. It performs well. However, it's not her best performing mini in my opinion. I think that's the Mini Retro, the Mini Nude, the Mini Glam performs not way better than this, but they do perform a little bit better than this one. I love the color story, but it's not something that I'm completely committed to. It's not, well, you have to check out that video, but it's not in the highest ranking either. So I do like it, but I guess I was expecting so much more when I purchased it. So this one does fall under number 2. And then we do have the Patrick Ta, what are these called? So the Cream Contour and Powder Bronzer Duos. I do have the shade She's Sculpted, which is the second lightest or second deepest shade because there's only 3 shades. It does have a cream contour as well as a powder bronzer. This is a really nice product, but I will say I think the shades that he included are not very good. I feel like he definitely could have benefited from releasing 1 or 2 more shades within this line. I love the concept because his blush duos did so well in this same format, but I just think that the formula is really great in these, but the shades are kind of weird. And I do think that this one can get a tad dark on me if I go pretty heavy-handed. So I think it's a great formula, but there are cream bronzers that I do prefer more. So that is just falling under number 2. Then we do have this from Ofra. This is the Ofra Unit Blush / Bronzer Duo. So it's kind of like a bronzer, if you will. And here's what it looks like. You can tell that this is supposed to act kind of as the bronzer, and this is supposed to act as the blush. Again, this is in the shade Unit. And I really, really enjoy Ofra's complexion products. I think Ofra does an amazing job with complexion products, that and lip products of course, but I enjoy this one. However, again, it's nothing that I'm committed to. It's nothing that I feel like I absolutely need in my collection, but again, because I really do enjoy the formula, I'm definitely keeping it around, and it's nice to kind of have that fun bronzer shade in my collection. Now I have a little 5-pan palette from Wet n n Wild, and this one is in the shade Camo Flaunt. So I want to say the 5 pans, they are new to Wet n Wild. I know that Wet n Wild has had like trios and quads, but I believe the 5 pans are newer, and this one is really pretty. I do love the very cute, quaint color story, but I do prefer another palette that I'll talk about later on in the video, more so than this one, but the formula is great. I think the Wet n Wild eyeshadow formula is so amazing, but this in particular, like the color story, it's just not one that I reach for. If I want to use Wet n Wild shadows, I'm gonna use something else that I'm gonna talk about in a minute. But yeah, this is falling under number 2. Another product is actually my Wet n Wild and SpongeBob highlighter. So I apologize, but I've actually never used this. It's kind of just sitting in my collection, but it's ranking at number 2 because I definitely don't want to declutter it. I know that this shade really won't work for me as a highlighter because it's going to be a little bit darker for me, but I'm so glad that I have it nonetheless. I love the packaging, and I think the shade is cute, and maybe I could even wear it as an eyeshadow. So I'm happy to have it regardless. Now we have another Wet n Wild product. This is the Impossible Primer. So this is supposed to be a primer that really just does it all. It's supposed to be silicone free, hydrating, mattifying, pore blurring, and everything. And this is something where I do like it. It's probably closer to falling into like the 1 category. I do like it. I really do. I think it's a really great drugstore primer. And of course, with it being Wet n Wild, it's very affordable. I really love the packaging as well, but I think I didn't rank it at that 1 category just because I haven't used it a lot. But the few times that I've used it, I've been pretty happy with it, and I love the texture. It feels really interesting. I do like it. All right, so another product is my MAC Glow Play Blush, and I do have the shade Rosie Does It. And this is honestly a really unique formula. It's very similar to the Bare Minerals Bounce and Blur blushes, if you're familiar. And I really enjoy this shade. It looks very dark, but honestly, it's a very forgiving formula that I'm able to blend it out just fine, and it works well for me. The reason this is sitting at number 2 is just because of the shade. I do obviously prefer more nudes, more neutral shades for my blush, and so this is definitely a little bit more of a impact on the cheeks, but I do really enjoy the formula, and I'm so glad that I was able to find this at TJ Maxx. So that's why it's in number 2, just because of the shade. And then we have this from Revlon. So this is the Revlon Color Stay Brow Fiber Filler, and I do have the shade Medium Brown. So I, at first, was going to rank this in number 3 under Where's My Receipt, but I'm ranking this at number 2 because I am able to make it work for me. I'm sorry if you can hear the ice cream truck, but I'm able to make this work for me, and it works fine. It's just a little bit of a drier formula, a little bit more dry than I'd like for my brow gels to be. I really enjoy the e.l.f. Wow Brow, so that's really what I've been loving. Also, the Wet n Wild brow gel is really good. But anyways, just because of the formula being a little bit dry, that's why this ranks at number 2. If it was a little bit more creamier, a little bit more wet of a formula, it would probably be a number 1, honestly, because it does fill the brows really nicely. Okay, then we have from e.l.f. This is the Mint Melt Lip Plumping Gloss, and I do have the shade Chocolate Chip, and this is definitely a deeper gloss. This is really pretty on the lips, but I will say it's pretty plumping as far as like the way that it feels on your lips. It's definitely one that you're gonna feel it. It's like you're definitely gonna feel it on your lips. And I like the color though, and that's partly why it's on number 2. At first I was thinking it was gonna be on number 3 just because I don't need any more glosses, but I purchased it anyway. But I just really like the shade. I think it smells really good, being that it smells a little bit more like vanilla mint. So I just like the shade, that's why it's on number 2. All right, so another product from Ofra is this liquid blush. So I actually purchased the bronzer and this liquid blush in a set together. This liquid blush is in the shade Loyal. And this is ranking at number 2 because it's actually a pretty good blush. I do like it. I think it works pretty well. But I don't know, I guess it's just one that I don't reach for a lot. I have so many cream blushes. It's really hard for me to have my absolute favorites because I'm constantly rotating through them because I want to make sure that I'm getting use out of them. So it's kind of hard for me to rank my cream blushes at like number 1 because like I said, I'm really rotating through them and trying my best to make sure that they're just not sitting there. But I really enjoy this shade. I think it's really perfect for every day, and I love how soft it looks, so it does go with a lot of different eye looks. But I guess because of the formula, sometimes it is a little bit harder to blend because it's more of like that whipped, thicker formula, but it still works well and I still enjoy the shade. All right, so now we have a product from Fenty Beauty. I did pick this up from TJ Maxx. This is the Pro Filter Soft Matte Powder Foundation. I do have the shade 280, which is a little bit dark for me. I do enjoy the formula a lot. I think it's a really, really nice powder foundation. I think the sponge that it comes with does a really great job at applying it, but this is ranking at number 2 because of the shade. I feel like if I did have my correct shade, I would probably enjoy it even more, but I like it. I think it has really decent coverage and it's great as a touch-up powder. It's great to just get additional coverage somewhere, anywhere on your face that you want. So I do like it, and I'm glad that I was able to find it at TJ. So that is ranking at number 2. Then we have the Urban Decay Stoned Vibes palette. So this is a stunning palette, you guys. Don't get me wrong. I was actually tempted to rank this at number 1, being in a committed relationship with it, but I honestly haven't used it too much, which is so sad, but that it is what it is. That's always my case with my eyeshadow palettes, unfortunately. But this is a stunning, stunning eyeshadow palette. I think the color story is nice. I absolutely love the lid shades. They're so impactful on the lids, and I like it. I really do. The packaging, of course, is so stunning, but the reason it's at number 2 is because sometimes I do think it's a little bit tricky to get a full complete look out of this palette, and that is something that I really look for within an eyeshadow palette. I love to be able to just create one entire look with the palette, because usually when I'm doing my makeup, I'm getting ready to go to work or something, and I don't want to have to like dig between like 3 to 4 to 5 different palettes just to create one look, if that makes sense. So that's partly why this is ranking at number 2, but honestly, those lid shades are so, so stunning. All right, and now we have the Wet n Wild and SpongeBob Nautical Nonsense eyeshadow palette. I just absolutely love the packaging of this guy. And then here is what the inside of the palette looks like. So, so cute and colorful, perfect for summer. But this is a great eyeshadow palette. It has that really great Wet n Wild eyeshadow formula. I will say some of the shades, like some of the mattes, are a little bit harder to work with, especially this like darker navy blue. This is a little bit hard to work with and can get a little bit patchy. But that's really the only problem and issue that I have with this palette. But I still really like it nonetheless, and the SpongeBob lover in me definitely had to pick it up. So I'm so happy to have that. This is the Rare Beauty Stay Vulnerable, what is this, Melting Blush, and I do have the shade Nearly Neutral. So you guys know how much I love Rare Beauty. I think it's such a cute brand. There's so many products from the brands that I want to try. There's so many products from the brands that I've purchased because I'm so intrigued by the brand. But this is a really cute blush. I really love the shade. Honestly, I think the shade is so stunning. The packaging, of course, is just so, so cute and adorable. But my issue with this one is it is very, very light. You have to build it up quite a bit in order for it to be pigmented and show up. But still, I'm okay with having it in my collection because it's Rare Beauty and because I love the packaging, and honestly because, again, I really enjoy the shade. But it is a cream blush that is probably best for like no makeup, or maybe if you're just gonna wear like a tinted moisturizer or something, or if you don't mind building it up. That's the thing. But still, happy to have it nonetheless. All right, so sticking with Rare Beauty, I do have the Rare Beauty primer. This is the illuminating primer. So this is like always an Optimist illuminating primer. I know that she has like her pore diffusing one, which I do own as well. But this is the mini of this primer. And this is ranking at number 2 because I think it's a decent primer. However, it doesn't really do anything for the skin. It does have a pretty good like illuminating effect to the skin, especially before foundation, but it's nothing that my like Becca like backlight priming filter or First Light priming filter can't do, and I already owned those. But I still really enjoy having Rare Beauty in my collection because it is a very like trendy brand. And of course, I just really am intrigued by the brand as well. So I think it's just a 2. It's nothing like out of the ordinary. It's nothing that I think you need to be running out and getting, but I still nonetheless like the glow that it does give. All right, so now we have another brow gel, and this one is from Essence. This is the Essence Make Me Brow, and I do have the shade, what is it? Yeah, Brownie Brows. So I really enjoy this. I do think I prefer the e.l.f. Wow Brow even more, but the thing with this one that I'm ranking it at 2 is because I think the shade Brownie Brows is a little bit too dark for me. I think I would much rather prefer just going a little bit lighter if they even have that as an option, because I'm reading this and it says 02, so they may not even have a lighter option that would suit me. I know they have one that's a little bit more taupey for maybe if you have like blonde hair, but anyways, I think the formula is good. I have no issues with that. I have no issues with like the lasting power or anything. It's really just the shade for me. I feel like I have to go in with such a light hand because it can get pretty dark. So that's the only reason that it's at number 2. Now we have a Kopari lip glossy. So this is the lip glossy in the shade Birthday Suit. This is really cute. It's just ranking at number 2 because I don't use it that much because it is kind of glossy, and I'm not really wearing glosses way too much at work because I just know a mask is gonna have to go right on top of it. So right now, this is ranking at number 2 just because I'm not gravitating towards it that much, but I think this shade is so pretty and everyday and goes really well with a lot of different eye looks. And it's also pretty hydrating. So it's at number 2, but I'm sure once I get more use out of it, I'll fall in love with it. All right, so now we have my Tarte's Juicy palette. So this is the Amazonian Clay Juicy eyeshadow palette. I purchased this a little bit before April, but this is what it looks like. It's honestly such a stunning color story, and I also really love the way that it smells. I love the packaging. The only issue I have with this palette is just the shimmer shades. The shimmer shades are a little bit lackluster, a little bit underwhelming. I did read a comment whenever I watched a video after someone like reviewed this, and the comment was like, it works really well for mature eyelids, and I definitely agree. I am not at the stage of my life where you know, I'm looking for shimmer shades that are a little bit more smooth. Obviously, I really appreciate them because I still do have like creasing on my eyelid because my eyes are slightly hooded, but I do think that these types of shimmers will do very well for someone with mature eyelids. But I guess for me, because I'm so used to a really impactful shimmer lids, I'm really like used to more metallic shimmers, that I was a little bit underwhelmed by this one, but I'm still happy to have it because I do want to get more use out of it, and I love that I have a great like pinky toned eyeshadow palette that I can grab and reach for, but I guess Tarte just doesn't make my favorite eyeshadow formula, and that is okay. So now we do have, before I get into my ones, I do have one last two. And so this is obviously, it just has a home. It's nothing, you know, too much to talk about, but I did purchase a set during the Sephora VIB sale from Ilia, and I don't have one of the products because it's actually in my bathroom, but it did come with like 4 little minis from the brand Ilia. So it included their like lip mask, and that's what I don't have. It's like in a little bitty jar. And then it also included the what is it? The Liquid Powder Chromatic Eye Tint in the shade Mythic. It also included the Limitless Lash Mascara, and it's just a mini. All of these are minis, by the way. And then it did include the Balmy Gloss Tinted Lip Oil in the shade Only You. And I rank this a 2 because I haven't tried the mascara yet. I have so many opened mascaras, so I haven't even tried this one. But I really enjoy these two products, the liquid eyeshadow and the lip oil. I think they're really cute colors. They're nice and like pinky, rosy colors. And the lip mask is really nice as well. I don't think I love it as much as my Laneige lip mask, but I still enjoy the one from Ilia as well. So I think this is a cute little set, especially if you're wanting to try out Ilia, but Ilia is an expensive brand and you don't want to bite the bullet and purchase like a full-size product. I think this is a cute little set that's pretty well curated that you can try out a few of their products. So those are all of the 3s and all of the 2s. Those are the Where's My Receipt, the Has a Home in My collection. But now I want to get into the products that I have a committed relationship in. So let's talk about those ones, the products that fall under the 1 category. All right, so now we are going over the 1 category. So these are the products that I am in a committed relationship with. I am so glad that I purchased them, and honestly, I'm impressed by them. And pretty much I've liked them from initial application, from the very beginning. Like, I put them on and I knew I like these products. Do you know what I mean? So I'm gonna try to quickly go through these because this is already a long video. So firstly, this is the Milk Hydro Grip Set and Refresh Spray. I just absolutely love the way that this looks, and this does a really great job at setting your makeup, providing you a little bit of hydration, but also making your makeup last a very, very long time. So I'm very impressed with this product. I don't think it's better than the Urban Decay like all-nighter spray, but I think it comes pretty close. So this is definitely in that 1 category. The next product is my Ofra and Samantha March Life's a Draft palette. And this is a face and eye palette. So it does have some eyeshadows, a blush, bronzer, and highlighter. I just think this is such a cute palette. Again, I love Ofra's complexion products. So the bronzer, blush, and highlight performs so well. I really, really love the purple shades that she included in here. I feel like they're really nice for a appropriate everyday purple eyeshadow look. They lean more like mauve toned in my opinion, but overall such a great palette, and I'm really, really impressed with this this palette and this formula and just how well it works. So really love that one. Now this is probably my favorite purchase of the entire year. Like, I'm not even joking. I am so head over heels for this palette. And that is the Give Me Glow Cosmetics Pastel Dreams palette. You guys, I am so impressed by this eyeshadow palette. First off, look at the most adorable packaging ever. It's so cute. And then the color story is just, it cannot be beat. It's so beautiful. And these pastels are pastels. Like, if you can never find pastel shades to work for you because they always blend away, because they're too light, try this palette. It's very expensive. I want to say it was like $60 something, maybe $50 something. I think it might have been 54. I'm not sure. But with shipping and taxes and all of that, it did come out to be quite a bit. But this palette performs so well. I just am so head over heels for this palette, and I wish I could reach for it more. Whenever I was working from home, I would play with color a lot more because I knew I was just gonna be at home. But now that we are back into the office full time, it's harder for me to pull for this palette, but this is definitely one that I want to reach for like on the weekends and maybe when I'm on like break from work or something. But I just love this palette so much. It has completely cured all of my pastel dreams. I mean, literally pastel dreams, get it? It's just so good. You guys, this is like, I'm in a committed relationship with this. I will completely for the rest of my life sing the praises of this palette. I think it's so, so, so good. Now, I feel bad for this palette because after that Pastel Dreams palette, it's kind of hard to compare, but this is the Naked Wild West palette from Urban Decay. I like this. I think it's really good. I think the color story is really nice as well. I love that it's a mixture of warm and cool tones. I love that you can kind of mix them whenever you use the palette. And I also really love using that blue shade on the lower lash line just for a pop of blue. I think it performs really well. And honestly, this kept going out of stock during the Sephora VIB sale. A lot of my Sephoras, like in person, weren't carrying it, so I had to order it online. So I think a lot of people are enjoying it too. So I am super impressed with this one, and I'm so happy that Urban Decay is coming out with some really great releases. Next, this is kind of just a really like random find, or a random product for me to be talking about, but I did find it at TJ Maxx, and this is the Becca blush. It's a mineral blush in the shade Flower Child. And Becca obviously does a really great job with complexion products. Sorry, I'm trying not to blind you with the mirror. I guess I can just hold it like this. But Becca does a really great job with complexion products, and this is a really nice everyday like pinky blush. I think it's really perfect for so many different eye looks, and I knew that I already liked Becca's blushes, and this is no exception. Now, I have really been loving this, and again, I'm not surprised. This is the Ofra and Samantha March River Bronzer. I did purchase this because I was able to get it on sale. This is an amazing bronzer. I already knew that I loved Ofra's complexion products, as I've been saying throughout this video, and again, no exception. This is amazing, and I think it's a really great buildable, blendable, beautiful colored bronzer, and I love that you can get a matte and a shimmery look with this bronzer. So overall, really enjoying it. Speaking of bronzer, this is my Tom Ford mini bronzer that costs me $30 something. Originally it's like $70 something. This is the Tom Ford Glow Bronzer, and I do have the shade 02 Terra. This was something that I did pick up at a cosmetic company store, a cosmetic company outlet. It is a really nice bronzer formula. It's not worth the $80 that it is, but I think it is worth 60% off, and that's what I got it for. So I'm pleased with that one. Might as well just continue with bronzers. This one is from Tower 28. This is the Bronzino bronzer in the shade West Coast. This is a really unique bronzer, being that it's more of a like illuminating bronzer. It does have some shimmer to it. I think this is perfect for summer, and it's currently in my Shop My Stash rotation, so I'm really excited to get some more use out of it. I actually haven't used it yet because I've really been enjoying that Ofra bronzer, but I need to get onto this one and enjoy it while the summer months are here. Now I have a YesStyle product that I wanted to talk about. This is from the brand Peri Para. This is the Pure Blushed Sunshine Cheek, and it's in the shade Hazel Orange. And this is a really nice blush. I really enjoy the color as well. I think that it's a really nice everyday color, and I like that it's more of like a corally color, but it's kind of more nude at the same time, so it does go with multiple eye looks. I think it's a great formula. I really enjoy the packaging. I love that the packaging is a similar color to the shade on the inside, and that it doesn't feel cheap, even though it was fairly inexpensive. So I am really enjoying that. Speaking of, or continuing on with some Ofra products, I did purchase, whenever Samantha March released her round 2 collaboration with Ulta, I did purchase the lip gloss set. However, I only used this one. The other two I'm actually selling on my Poshmark. I will link my Poshmark down below. I have not even opened them or swatched them. It's the shades Millie and Queen, so if you are wanting those, check out my Poshmark. I'm selling them for fairly cheap. But this is the shade Peony. It's just a pink gloss. It's so pretty. I absolutely love pairing it with a mauve toned lip liner. I think it looks beautiful that way. Really enjoy this color. I like the Ofra lip gloss formula, so no complaints here. Really happy with this one. Then we have another product from Wet n Wild. I did purchase quite a bit from Wet n Wild. I think they're killing it lately. I think they have a lot of really great new releases. because this is the Wet n Wild Bare Focus Tinted Hydrator, and I do have the shade Fair in this one. I do wish they had more shades in this, but I do think that some people of deeper complexions have been able to make this work for them. And I like this. I think it's really great. I think it has decent coverage. I think it lasts pretty well on throughout the day. And I will say that it does oxidize a tiny bit, so that's why I just went with the lightest shade. But I'm pretty impressed with this. I think it's great, especially for the very affordable price tag. So no complaints here. Really enjoy this one. Another lip gloss. This is one that I picked up during the Sephora VIB sale. This is from Kaja. It is the Gloss Shot Lip Gloss, and I do have the shade Milk Tea. This is just such a stunning lip gloss color. I love how like milky and nudie pink it looks. So pretty. It just gives you a really nice flush of like milky pink on the lips, and I absolutely love the shade name Milk Tea because it just looks like milk tea, but it's a really great formula. I love the packaging, and overall pretty impressed with this guy. Now we have a product from e.l.f., and this is one of the, what are these called? The Hydrating Core Lip Shines. I do have the shade Happy. This is a really nice everyday nude lip balm, so it's going to give you a wash of color, but it's also going to be hydrating to the lips. Really enjoy this product. It's perfect for work, and it's also really nice and comfortable to wear underneath the mask. So overall, really happy with that. Another YesStyle product. This is from the brand The Sam, and this is the Eco Soul Lip Oil, and I did choose grapefruit. So it looks kind of intimidating in the bottle because it is orange, but it definitely does not look orange when you put it on. It's really just clear, to be honest, but this is so hydrating. I really love applying this whenever I'm doing my makeup, so that by the time I'm done with my makeup and I'm ready for a lip color, my lips are nice and hydrated and plumped and ready to go for a liquid lipstick, a lip gloss, whatever. So I really like this, and I've been really into lip oils as well, and of course, because it's from YesStyle, it was very affordable. I think this might be my final product from YesStyle. This is the Misha Cotton Blush in the shade, so it's the Misha Cotton Blusher in the shade Mama's Camel Coat. This is so nice. I really love this product. I love the blush color. I just love how fuss-free it is, how perfect it is for every day. These remind me a lot of like the Essence blushes. I think that they are very buildable and blendable. I think the shades that they offer are so beautiful. I also love how slim and compact that is because it fits perfectly in my drawers. It also is really great for traveling, so no complaints here. Really enjoy this blush. Now we have a cream blush, and this is from Melt Cosmetics. I did purchase this during the Sephora VIB sale, and this is one of their cream blush lights, and it's in the shade Polished. You guys, this is a beautiful cream blush formula. I really enjoy this formula a lot. I honestly wouldn't be against purchasing another shade. I just know that the shades are always kind of going in and out of stock on Sephora's site and in store at Sephora. So I think this formula is really nice. It builds up nicely. It's also pretty long wearing, and I think the shade Polished is so stunning because it's a peachy color, but it does have some not glitter, but it does have like more of a shimmer finish to it, but it doesn't enhance texture or anything. I was worried about that, but it does not have that issue. I really enjoy this formula. I think Melt did a great job with this one. I just wish the packaging was a little bit cuter. Another cream blush. This is actually from Winky Lux, and this is their Cheeky Rose Blush in the shade Crown. Honestly, 10 out of 10 for packaging. It is so cute. I just love this rose. It's so beautiful, just displaying it on your vanity. I was told that this doesn't fit in the Alex 9 drawers or in the IKEA drawers. Mine fits just fine. But this is such a nice cream blush. Like, regardless of how cute it looks in the little like component, It is a really nice cream blush. The formula is great. This shade is really nice, and they have other really cute colors too. I purchased mine at Target, and sometimes you can even get like Target makeup on sale, but it is also available on Ulta, on Ulta's site. But I did purchase mine from Target. Really, really impressed with this cream blush. Another product or another cream blush. This one is actually a liquid blush. This is from Rare Beauty. This is one of her liquid blushes. It's the dewy version in the shade Joy. This is really, really great. I much prefer these over her matte liquid blushes. I think these in the dewy formula are a lot more comfortable, a lot easier to work with in my opinion. And this shade Joy is really, really beautiful. It's perfect for summer, and I really like it. They last really well on the skin. You only need a little bit whenever you apply these, so don't go too heavy-handed or don't go too crazy, but they last really, really well throughout the day. Honestly, they're one of the most like longer lasting cream liquid blushes that I've ever tried. So this is amazing. All right, so this was a product that I purchased from TJ Maxx. This is from MAC. This is the Extra Dimension Skin Finish in the shade Double Gleam. This is honestly such a great highlighter. I really enjoy the shade. I would not have purchased this for full price though, and I think I still paid like $16.99 for this, which is still a little bit higher for me, but I like it. I think it's a really great everyday highlighter. It's a little bit more of like that champagne highlight that I really, really love and enjoy, and I think it's beaming but in a more like natural way, so really, really enjoy this one. Another bronzer that I have, this is from Marc Jacobs. This is the Omega Bronze Coconut Perfect Tan bronzer in the shade Tantastic. Not only does this smell absolutely amazing, but this is a great bronzer formula. This is amazing. As soon as I tried this, I was hooked, and I kept wanting to use it, and I kept wanting to gravitate towards it. So I knew at that point that I absolutely loved this bronzer formula. I did already own Tantric from Marc Jacobs, and it's in the black packaging, very similar to this, but I much rather prefer the shade Tantastic for my skin tone. I think it just suits me a lot better, and I absolutely love this white compact that it comes in. And then we do have from Rare Beauty again, this is the, what are these called? This is the liquid eyeshadow from her, and it was part of that Stay Vulnerable collection. And this is the liquid eyeshadow in Nearly Neutral. Again, super cute packaging, especially for like anything from Rare Beauty is gonna have cute packaging, but this is really nice. It's actually the eyeshadow that I'm wearing on my eyes today. I think it lasts really well on the lids. It's very easy to blend. I just place it on my lids, and I get more of like a, not a fluffy brush, but also not like a dense brush, something that is a little bit dense, but also has the movability. So something where I can blend at the same time, and it works really well with that. And I have no issues. I love the shade with this. I love pairing this with a really bright inner corner just to kind of bring out this pink in the shade. And yeah, I have no complaints. I love this. All right, another product. So this is from Tarte. This is one of the Maracuja Juicy Lips. I did purchase this when I purchased the Juicy palette, and this is in the shade Coconut. I really enjoy this formula. I think it's really great for every day. It's gonna be moisturizing and hydrating to the lips, but it's also going to provide some color. These are very pigmented. It's not like a lip balm. Like, these are going to have some color to them, but they're very hydrating and they fade gracefully, so it's a little bit more hydrating than a regular bullet lipstick. I really enjoy these. I love how hydrating they are. I love the shades that they offer because they're all fairly nude, and they, you know, go with a lot of different looks. So I like this. I think it's great. I'm sorry if I'm saying the same things like 10 times over. I like the stuff. Okay, trying to hurry. I feel like this video is so long. So also a #1 spot in a committed relationship with are these Revlon Prismatic eyeshadow palettes. I absolutely love this formula. I love these color stories from Revlon. This one is in Slight Flex. This one is in That's a Dub. Here is what they look like. They are so, so beautiful. I especially love from the That's a Dub palette this shade right here. It's more of like a rose gold shimmer shade. It is so beautiful and impactful on the lids. And then from the Slight Flex palette, I love this like duochrome here. It's this one right here. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's definitely like a duochrome. It's a very special shade to me, but I love these palettes. I think the color stories are so high end, and I think the formula is pretty nice as well. So I am super, super committed to those guys, and I'm so glad that I tried them out. Next, we have this from Wet n Wild. Now, this is the palette that I was talking about earlier, where I definitely think that these are so good and so worth it. This has completely stolen my heart. This is the Wet n Wild's Color Icon Tin Pan eyeshadow palette in the shade Nude Awakening. This is such a great palette, you guys. It is so good. It performs so well. I really enjoy the matte and shimmer shades in this palette. I think they perform so beautifully, and I never have any issues with this palette, and it's only like $5 or $6 for 10 shades. It's amazing. And of course, you can get Wet n Wild on sale, so you can probably even snag it up for even cheaper than that. I recently purchased like the cooler toned palette of this line, and I'm so excited to try it out. And I want to say this might be, no, it's not the final product. I'm almost done. This is the Natasha Denona Mini Nude Palette. I'm already in a committed relationship with this because the formula is amazing. The color story is really, really nice. It's a great everyday eyeshadow palette. I think the shimmer shades in here are so beautiful, and the mattes, the two mattes that are in here, correspond with the shimmer shades so beautifully. And it's the great Natasha Denona formula that I know and love, so I'm super happy with it. Then we have from Tom Ford. I did purchase this again with that same, cosmetic company outlet purchase. This is one of the Tom Ford's Emotion Proof eye colors in the shade 09 Bengal. This is a really nice cream shadow. It's brown and more of like a taupey color, but it does have some dimension to it. I absolutely love this. Again, I kind of go in with that more like denser, fluffy brush where I'm able to pack but also blend a little bit with this eye color, and it blends out really nice. It lasts really well throughout the day, and it's nice too because if I want to lay this down and then place like a shimmer shade on the center of my lid, it looks absolutely stunning and you look put together, but it only took you like a couple minutes to do, which I'm all about. Okay, we are almost done. I do have some single shadows, one that I purchased from YesStyle. This is from Misha. This is the Dewy Glossy Eyes in the shade Honey Roast. So this is very similar to like a Super Shock shadow, and the name of Glossy Eyes for this one is very accurate because it does make your eyes look like they're almost wet. It's such a stunning shade, and the formula is really nice. I think the formula is really unique, and I'm surprised that more people aren't talking about this because I feel like a wet eyelid is what everybody wants. And then this is from the Ulta Beauty like in-house brands. This is one of their bouncy cream eyeshadows in the shade Italian Ice. Very similar formula to that of the Misha shadow I just showed you, so kind of like a Super Shock shadow. And this is such a nice color. I absolutely love just packing this all over the lid, adding some mascara, and calling it a day. It's perfect for work because it's everyday appropriate, it's easy to use, and it's a single shadow that really does look like you tried harder than you did. So love that. All right, so those are all of my number ones. Those are all of the products that I am in a completely committed relationship with. I went over the products that fall under category 3, where's my receipt? I went over the products that were in category 2. They have a home with me and I like them, but they're just not like my loves. And then I went over my number ones that I'm in a committed relationship with. I love them. Ever since I started using them, I knew that they were gonna be products that I really enjoyed and really loved having within my collection. So anyways, I am so sorry that this video is so long. I just really wanted to get this ranking video up for you guys because I promised it a long time ago and it's already gonna be July soon. So I really hope that you enjoyed. Comment below what makeup you have been loving and what makeup purchases you have been loving. I would love to hear from you guys. As always, check my description box. I will have plenty of information down there regarding my 2 haul videos, my Poshmark closet, and any other information. And I hope you like this video because it would mean a lot to me. It really helps my algorithm and just getting me out to more viewers. And also I would love for you to subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will go ahead and see you in my next video. Bye.